Welcome and welcome back. My name is Paris, and tonight we're continuing, potentially finishing The Pale Beyond. That might be a bit ambitious. We're in the home stretch, but there is still quite a bit to do, and I'm replaying the scenes in my mind. I'm like, yeah, that's actually a lot, and a lot of talking that I'm gonna have to do. So we'll see where we end up. So it might be a little bit of an extra long stream, or it might be. I know where I'm like mentally. I know what point I'm gonna check in to see if this is gonna be plausible for me to finish tonight. So it's either going to be an extra long stream or it's going to be a regular one, and then next week might be a little shorter stream, or maybe we'll finish this off and then, I don't know, start another game. Probably not start another one. Maybe do like a demo or something of a different game. Anyways, who cares? That's next week. What we care about is what's happening right now. I see some people in the chat. Hello, Bethany and Aaron. So glad to have you joining me. I know you two are aware, and I said this at the end of last stream, but I'm gonna reiterate for the VOD. We are starting off this this stream in a really rough spot. It's gonna be upsetting. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be pretty upsetting. We're gonna have some animal death. We're gonna have animal death. Not like explicit or graphic, but still nonetheless intense and upsetting. So just mentally prepare yourself, but we're getting it over with at the beginning, and hopefully better things will be on the way. So we left off, I mean, even without that, we left off on a really bad spot. So winter, boy oh boy, that was a lot. Before it ended, we did find out that Kurt Darling, our lead navigator, has a heart condition that Dr. Nutley advised him and us that he shouldn't be, straining himself too much because it could turn deadly. And like basically one of the stipulations was he said that he couldn't recommend that Kurt should lead one of the lifeboats, which is like what we're getting ready to do, is set off on the lifeboats. And we agreed and said that Kurt shouldn't lead one. Because we care about his health. Okay, we're not gonna come all this way 37 weeks and have him die on us. Oh, we don't have to do the little note thing. It actually saved after that. Yeah, so this is our camp now because we ended winter with the ice breaking out from under us. And so the huge canopy collapsed, it knocked lamps over, things got set on fire. We rescued what supplies we could, which is, looking at our camp, it is not a lot. So yeah, we've just lost like most of our supplies. 4 people got hurt in it, but unfortunately we also lost our medical supplies. We don't have a medical tent anymore. We have these crates stacked. That's our makeshift medical area now. Like that's what we have. So yeah, things kind of suck, but we did make it to the edge of the ice finally, so we can, because the ice is breaking, behind us. So we need to get off of this and actually make for land. I wonder if we can see. Ooh, that moved a little faster than I expected. Yeah, so oh, that was where we were last week. I think that dot, was that us? Yeah, in the middle of water now. Is that where we were? That's crazy. If that's where we were. Yeah, I guess it was. Yeah, all through winter. Yeah, so it just broke out from under us. But we're very close to our original destination. But anyways, since I said this might be a little long, let's just get into it. Although I did just look over in chat. I see friendship with medical tent and in makeshift medical area is my new best friend. Exactly. With our, I don't, do we even have any medical supplies? We can't cure any of these people, or not cure because they're wounded, but you know what I mean. Anyways, let's talk to people and or listen in on their conversations. So we've got the Stoke brothers. We're heading out soon. Nervous? You have to be careful. We don't know these waters. Well, chin up. Better to look confident for the crew. He's still got his accordion, though. So we've got Runt and Ward. Do we really have to go out onto the water? You scared? Yes. Can't exactly get to land without crossing, can we? Icebergs often moves. In the right direction? Maybe not. Yeah, scary, but I think staying on ice would be scarier. Got Kasha. In the chat, medical tent is a state of mind. The medical tent is in our hearts, yeah. RIP, medical tent, we'll never forget you. Oh, Captain, I'm just triple checking my notes. I'll kick myself if I end up leaving anything behind on the ice. Now to hope my report doesn't take a dip in the ocean. Like, Quilsley and York III are not there. Are they even standing anywhere? No, they're just maybe they're hidden behind the lifeboat. These are two of the scouts. We're hitting the open sea. You excited, Quilsley? About time we got off the ice. I would like to be able to lead one of the lifeboats. Well, I got great news. I've got great news for you. Well, I don't know if only the navigator or scouts can lead the lifeboat, so actually, I might have bad news for you. Just JK, I didn't say anything. What the glory, eh? You're more like Kurt than me. It's not that. I don't want to put my life in another's hands at this stage. Fair. Oh, and we've got Kurt and Arthley talking. Smell that air, Doctor. If this holds, there'll be no better time for a sail, let me tell you. Well, isn't that fortunate? Ha! Kurt, please be careful out there. I will. Will you? Oh, now he's gone back to his makeshift medical area. Alright, grips. We checked the lifeboat several times over, Captain. They're as ready to sail as they're ever going to be. A good while ago, I'd have total faith in these vessels. Now I'm less certain. Well, ain't any other option. Here's Lefty. One more push onto land. Don't know if I've got the energy left. These old arms may break off if I try to row. Huh. Well, best see to it. We don't have any medical comforts. Okay. Alright. Request tent. Alright, got Hammond. Oh no! Don't start off with, we've got a problem. Hammond. Alright, Captain, we've got a problem. How urgent? The bloody compasses, they don't work. Oh. Excuse me? None of them. They've all been going haywire just after winter cleared. This is... This feels... I'm having deja vu to a different game that I helped make. With a compass going haywire. Mr. Hammond, we're due to set off on the water. You cannot wait for that ice a moment longer. You think I don't know that? Shit! Calm down, men. We have a clear sight line of land. We don't need the compasses. Can we not wait a while longer? I mean, what's waiting going to do? Like, if the compasses are going, like, haywire, it's not like, oh, the needle broke, or, like, you know, it doesn't seem like it's a thing that we know how to fix. Every step of this expedition has been plagued with misfortune, hasn't it? We can't have that attitude right now. So we have a clear sight line. Why not? I don't... Ooh! Oh no, did we lose? It didn't say we lost it. It lost. Okay, we can... Okay. You know how easy it is for the waves to turn us around? What if fog rolls in? Mr. Hammond, do you have any idea what's causing this error? You're right! It is magnet problems. Wait, was that from the game jam we did? It's been so long. Oh well, yes. That is the game I was referring to. It looks like a case of magnetic interference, but that can't be right, can it? You've come further south than anyone in history. This may just be a case... This may just be the case closer to the pole. We best just hope for good fortune. Hope? Great. We're sailing on a bloody hope. Alright. Captain, we have a few injured from the ice split. I have managed to arrange a small batch of crates to treat anyone. Well done, Doctor. Quite ingenious of you. Oh, thank you, Mr. Templeton. We unfortunately won't be able to make any more comforts, but I'll treat whoever I can. Okay, so he can still treat someone, we just can't do the immediate thing, is what it sounds like. So actually, since we have Runt is a medical assistant, now we can get 3 of our 4 injured treated, is what it seems like. A word, Captain? Can it wait? I don't think we have time to wait. Alright, speak your mind, Templeton. The animals. Oh. Okay, here we go. In all my years, I don't believe I've ever heard of dogs being able to sail the Silver Seas. Have you? No, I can't say I have. I don't have time for your riddles. I'm not sure. These dogs might be different. I can't say I have. One of us is going to have to break the news to the Kennel Master. Her dogs will not be joining us on the ocean. You don't think that hasn't crossed my mind? No, they won't. That's my decision to make, not yours. We'll go with that one. Then you understand what must be done. I do indeed. I assume you'll help me do the dirty work then. I don't appreciate being patronized, Templeton. I'll just say I do indeed. Yes, it's time we inform Cordell. I'll let her know. You break the news. I'll speak to her afterwards. Cordell isn't a fool. I'll let her know. But she has to know. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna put, who is even hurt? Okay, we definitely need, I mean, I don't know if it really matters. Command to rest. Okay. If we do that, we'll be fine. We'll be healed from freezing, so that's one less person to worry about. Okay. I know, I see it in the chat. Oh no, yeah. Yeah. All 14 of them are here. Alright. Not the sad music. Ugh. I can already feel myself starting to get choked up. Okay, here we go. The animals are eagerly trained on the penguin fillet in Cordell's hand. She notices your approach. Captain, I was hoping to speak to you. Easy to find. What's this about, Cordell? Just let her continue. The dogs scramble as she launches the meal across them. I understand you're going to shoot my dogs, aren't you, Captain? I wanted your opinion on the matter first. Yes, I am, or perhaps not. Excuse me, I'm already crying. Is that so? She looks out across the animals. I'm no fool. I just don't want them to suffer. They've been through so much already. Shouldn't be so... Fuck that. We all have. I'll just let her continue. The animals continue to scramble over the fillet. These dogs have known me their entire lives. She points at the dog tearing the fillet from its sibling. I used to carry that one around in my pocket as a pup. Do you have children, Captain? We said that we did before, so I'll say yes. Their faces flash across your mind. I'd very much like to see them again. I'm not sure they know I'm out here or what of them. I'm not sure they know I'm out here. Stanberry joins her side. Oh, and she's looking up at Cordell. The chat, there's a crying emoji, and then I'm crying too. This is payback for making you go through Red Dead Redemption 2. Yes. Except I'm also suffering, but you are also suffering with that. So we're just doing it to ourselves. I don't mean to sound cliche, Captain, but they're all I have. You have us, Cordell. You can't help more animals if you're dead. They're dogs, Cordell. So you can't help more animals if you're dead. We can't take them on the sail. Dogs can't sail boats. I'm trying to do what's best for the crew. So we can't take them on the sail. There simply isn't enough room. I know. So... Oh, Stanberry turned to look at us. What's to happen to them? They'll stay here, let nature take its course. No, that's awful. We're going to kill them, or one of those boats is yours should you wish. Take it in the night, I won't stop you. We're going to kill them. The chat handshake emoji, but us just crying, yeah. Back of the head. So sever the spinal cord. Don't let them suffer. I'd expect the same if it were me. I'll see to it myself. They won't. I promise. Sparing them starvation on the ice is a mercy. You begin to make your leave. Robin. Yes. I'm ashamed to ask it, but I implore you this one mercy. She ruffles Stanberry. May I keep one? Just one. I won't risk losing crew over a dog. Fine, but if this gets someone killed there will be repercussions, or this is the one we're gonna go with. You can stay, Stanberry. I'll need my replacement captain after all. Tilts its head at you. Thank you, Captain. I won't forget this. pet Stanberry and leave. Wolf says you tickle its ear. You depart across the snow. Ugh, give me a second. Okay. Oh, and then there's like the beautiful background. They were drawn so cute. The lighting was so pretty. Give the order for the dogs to be shot. The order is given. The news creeps through camp. The air left melancholic. The dogs are rounded up and led towards the nearest ice ridge. I feel shitty making everyone else do it when it's technically my order. So I say I take part in it myself. And we did promise that, you know, it would be quick and merciful. You lead the animal behind the ice ridge. Away from the others. The weapon is heavy in your hands. You're careful not to touch any more of its icy metal than you have to. The dog looks at you expectant. We're gonna give him one last pet. You ruffle the dog's head. It arfs. Raise the rifle and tighten your grip. Drops lifeless on the ice. For the course of the day, the rest of the dogs are periodically brought around the ice ridge and shot by the crew. The sun glares down on the ice, mocking the day's decisions. Do you order the dog's meat be harvested? No. The dogs are piled behind the ridge and left to the birds, if not the ocean. God. Thank you for the digital hugs. I see you also. You had to get your dog to hug her, and I don't blame you. Okay. Alright, so the worst part is over. The crew have the meal in relative silence. A heavy air hangs over the day's decisions. The crew return to their posts. You can choose who to spend your evening with. Alright, got more people talking. We have Kasha and Cordell. Oh, Stanberry. There. It's okay, Stanberry. Evening, Cordell. Stanberry. Oh no! Stanberry stays behind their master, softly whimpering. I'm sorry if I'm disturbing you at a difficult time. I just thought I should pry. check in. I'm sorry, I'll leave you be. Belford, wait. I apologize. May I ask you a question? Are the dogs included in that report of yours? Well, yes, I do have them listed by name. I've taken records of their shifts, but that's about it. I don't know much of the pack beyond that. Would you like to? I can tell you how they lived. Perhaps creatures such as they are less deserving to be eulogized. I disagree. Your dogs kept this crew alive, didn't they? They have just as much claim as being heroes and explorers than any of us. And we repay them with the mercy of a quick death. It hardly seems a fair trade, does it? I'm sorry. You did not pull the trigger, nor would I begrudge you if you did. It was a necessary act. Still, tell me about them. I wish to know more. Well, I suppose I should start with Stanberry, should I not? Stanberry is... Alright. We got Grimly and Earthly. Some last minute checks. Nah. No? Not last minute. Last minute checks come the morning we leave. Oh. Well, it doesn't hurt to be thorough. Anything can change. No chances. You seem concerned. Does it hurt to be? No, not at all. You seem to be doing well. Considering the circumstances, I am. Thank you, Grimly. Aye, get some rest. Alright, Mr. Gloss. Those poor creatures. They would not have survived out here. Killing them was a kindness, as unfortunate as that is. Mostly I'm concerned for our kennel master. Indeed, this cannot be easy on the woman. That kennel was all she had. I don't know why it's doing that, like, blank black screen. Not pretty, is it? But necessary. Don't know if Cordell will feel the same. I'll miss the wee beasties. Looks like 2 Johns, Cavity, and Tucker, maybe. Those poor beasties. I didn't want to have to do that. Would you rather have left them here to wither away? Of course not, Cavity, but I played with them every day. Having to look them in the eye before pulling that trigger. I know, that's a look I'm never going to forget. Rough that. Did we really have to shoot them? It's kinder than leaving them out here to starve, Timmy. Doesn't feel kinder. I know, son. I know. But it was. I'm going to miss them. I know. Well, that was some grisly business, but it's done now. Those creatures will be granted a greater peace than could be imagined on the ice. I must commend you for taking part. Perhaps it was better to let them go. The crew were shaken. I thought you'd be concerned about the use of ammunition. I'll say I'll commend you for taking part. I said that I would. I'll hold my word to a certain standard, Captain. The Kennel Master has been even more silent than usual after this day's events. Understandably so. Perhaps it's best to check in on her. I don't know. She's busy. Okay, there's nothing else to do, so we'll end. Man. 12 rations. Okay. Alright, so... yeah, because since the winter didn't, like, end in the normal way, this is the stuff that we hunted right before winter ended. That we're now... they're now telling us, hey, you got this stuff. The sight of the ocean ahead lifts your spirits, +5 decorum. 3 of the crew cured of their wounds. But the engineer Dick is now freezing. Okay. That, oh god. Difficult. Alright. We got the Stoke brothers talking again. Oh, okay, talking to us. Ah, Shaw. Almost ready to set out. How are the boats looking? Grimly, that's good to hear. Those boats best be ready. Let's say how are the boats looking. Weathered. But we'll get there in one piece. Still need to assign the crew to their stations. Plan carefully, Shaw. Don't know what we'll face out there. Everyone needs to pull their weight. Anything else, Captain? Thank you both for everything. I'll see you once we make land, or as we say thank you. I don't think anyone. Yep, nothing left to do except prepare for the open sea sail. Preparations begin. Nope. Templeton, Hammond, Kurt, Cordell, Nutley, and Kasha all board the largest lifeboat. Grimley and Junior man the other 2 vessels. The remaining crew must be decided. All living crew must be allocated to the lifeboats before you can set sail. You have 16 left to assign. Okay. Okay, so we have all of the specialists, basically. Well, except for Grimley and Junior. But we have Hammond, Templeton, Kurt, Cordell, Nutley, Kasha. Who's is that one? Us? Yes. Okay. Okay. No, it like doesn't probably matter, but you know we're gonna put 1 engineer, 2 scientists. 1 of the scouts here. That's 4 people we've assigned, so they'd have 5. 6. We're gonna put Ward and Son together. Oh my god! Wait, where is he assigned? It won't let me. What? Board the vessel. Okay, I know. Okay, I wanted them to be together. Okay. Okay, so then you're gonna get Flick, the other one, the last scientist. So that's so they'll have 4, 5, 6, 7. You there. We'll put... We have 2 more people. So you'll go here. Then, oh wait, we have 1 more scout too. Okay. That's everyone. Okay. No. See you in the chat. My dog doesn't understand what's going on or why I'm crying, but she demands belly scritches. And then do not separate. Yeah, I wanted to keep Ward and Runt together, and then I kept the married couple together. You know, it just feels better. And then, like, I feel like it probably doesn't matter with how I've been playing and how things are going, but I was also like, I wanted to be like, okay, there has to be at least 1 scout, 1 scientist, 1 engineer on every on every boat, just in case. Alright, here we go. You will not be able to return from this point? Are you sure? Aye. Camp is packed up and the lifeboats are prepared for sail. Everything is ready, Captain. All that's left is for you to give the order. Let's get off this blasted ice. I'll see all of you on the other side. This isn't going to be easy. Keep alert. We're at the mercy of the ice and the ocean now. We might not all make it. You should be prepared for that. This will be the toughest challenge we've faced. So let's get off this blasted ice. See you on the other side. It's 2:15 in the afternoon. For some back home, the end of lunchtime. For you, the beginning of a countdown. Consider the boats carrying you through the ice. Try to keep your mind on the mission ahead. Observe the souls aboard. Anticipation has quickly melted away the malevolent stagnation all were feeling on that floe. Your past and future seem to shrink against the glaring challenges of the ice ahead. Consider your previous sailing experience. Allow yourself to enjoy this for but a moment. We'll do that. This. All of this. Oh, well, that's not really what I meant. This is the adventure that was promised. The advert is still imprinted in your memory. Glory to be had in the event of success. There's no choice but to succeed then. Promises are poison. We're a testament to that now. Get on with it. There's no choice but to succeed then. You grip the tiller firmly. Stroke. The boats lurch forwards, bobbing side to side, parting the inky waters. Stroke. You're gaining speed now. Stroke. There we are. The cadence is reached by all those rowing. The oars lift in unison. Uncomfortable for most, the crew has arranged the equipment as best they can to lift their sitting position to account for the raised edges of the boat. Oh, we can zoom in. I think that's good. It's not long before Natalie begins a periodic ritual of dry heaving over the side of the boat between his turns rowing. Kasha curls over her camera, paranoid of any moisture that may enter its mechanisms. There we go. You can see the little oars. Oh. Continue to sail ahead. The fog finally clears to reveal the ice around. In the chat, bon voyage. And then, are you sure you want to leave? Yes. Get me out. It is very pretty, but terrifying. In the chat, our wake looks like a big sea creature. It does. As we're zoomed out, we look like a big whale with like 4 fins. Basically what I said. Terrifying, but profoundly beautiful all at once. Continue to sail ahead. Oh, we've rolled down the sails. By evening, you've nearly escaped the ice. The empty ocean is almost visible on the horizon. The boats lurch. The smell is horrendous, though seemingly enticing to a large gathering of snow petrels. They shoot down from the sky at their leisure, scooping up a meal at a time. They're mackerel ice fish, I think. How do you know that? My father used to take me fishing whenever he could. Hammond stops rowing momentarily. Are you sure about that, kid? 'Cause you've been puking for the year straight, at least. The doctor goes red and tries to prove he can hold it in. Kasha furrows her brow, readying the camera. What do you think it means? It doesn't mean anything. A cold current, most likely, where the ice meets the ocean. Grimly calls from his boat. It's a bad omen. The living aren't supposed to be out here. Templeton grumbles to himself something about superstition. With the birds overhead, it's nigh impossible to avoid their droppings. At least it's warmer than the snow. Oh god. One finds its way into the doctor's hair. A fresh gastral purge follows suit. Kasha looks to you, uncomfortable, shielding the camera. What do you think, Captain? I'm preoccupied with sailing and being shat on, in case you hadn't noticed. I'm sure there's an explanation, whether we understand or not. Sailors have made a career of defying where people shouldn't be able to go. Grimly's no different. I'm no different. I mean, yeah. She seems satisfied with this answer, taking a photo across the water. Cordell lifts a fish from the ocean and presents it to Stanberry. The animal smells it before shying away from the food. She drops it back in the ocean and buries herself in the animal's furs. Man, even Stanberry is like, I don't want that. It's nasty. Continue to sail ahead. Oh no. After hours of rowing, you finally reach the open ocean. It's impossible to avoid the stingy sprays of the sea as they invade the boats periodically. Everyone is left bailing with whatever they can find. Hats, mugs, even bare hands lift out the water. The crew begin to curse into the night, at each other, and at events gone past. It's the only means of protest that doesn't interrupt attempts to remain warm. Join the incessant blasphemy, refuse to take part but allow the others. Tell the crew that there's no place for such language even out here. Refuse to take part but allow the others. I don't know. Do we really care? I kind of want to join in. You add to the chorus of curses, each getting more creative and louder as the swells continue. Varied of past and class, each brings their own flavor to the pulpit. I'm sure Templeton's gonna hate it. They soon mix and fold like the currents beneath them, and before long, oh, even the likes of Templeton and Nutley permit their share of graphic slurs, the latter briefly forgetting their seasickness. Continue to sail. Oh, uh-oh. Lightning flashes to the west, followed by rapturous thunder, underscoring the sounds of the sea. Hold fast. Your screams are lost in the thunder as a large, abrupt wave smashes against the boats. Rogue wave! You just about crest it. A moment passes before the other two lifeboats join you. Every sailor knows the tales of rogue waves, freak anomalies that plague seas such as these. You hear singing, started by Junior. It soon infects the rest of the sailor folk, defiant against the storm. The song is about three sisters dancing to seduce a sailor. And that's the song that's playing right now. A second larger wave hits the boats, same again, just about. The sailors change key. Sing with them. You don't know the words, but you'll never forget this tune. Echoing as best you can, the others follow suit from beneath the tarp. Even Templeton sings. The third, final, and largest of the waves hits the boats. You're lifted near vertical. Keep singing. The spray enters your lungs. It feels like forever before your boat finally crests the wave. The tiller buckles in your hand. Your eyes burn from the salt of the sea. All three boats make it across. Fuck yeah. You finally make land. The navigator is the first to step on solid ground. He turns to the rest of you, sodden. And now, as you'll see with everyone as we talk to them, they have new sprites that have been updated to reflect our very rough journey. So you can see he's got, you know, dark circles under his eyes. The tears in his jacket. We've made it, ladies and gentlemen. Land at last. Fuck yes. See in the chat, Stanberry has standards, and then you know things are rough when Templeton participates in everything, right? What's this? Look out across the ocean. Look out across the ocean and consider the journey thus far. Oh, okay. Nothing there, really. I do see Grimley and Junior over there, but we can't talk to them. So we'll go to our request tent. Yeah, so Hammond lost his hat. And now he has some facial hair, more growing in. Carpenter sent me. Says we ought to get building some sort of marker. Can't say I disagree. We've made it farther than anyone else. Something to take pride in. I'll get to it on your order. He leaves. It may be in our interest to hold a small encomium, Captain. We have come so far. We should praise ourselves for accomplishing such an impossible task. We have progressed beyond the last known location of the Viscount. Answers to its disappearance may lie on this isle. Captain, once we're through here, I would recommend you scout the area for any sign of human activity. For safety, of course. For safety? Okay. Okay, so we have... We're not gonna cross. Okay, we'll see what else Hammond is up to. You see the engineer tinkering away at some navigational equipment with his usual sour expression. Shit. He places the equipment to the side and lets out a grunt. Damn thing still doesn't work. It's your job to fix it. We don't need it. We have a navigator. Do you think it could be in the environment? Probably that. Hammond gives you a sideways glance. Maybe. Couldn't begin to know. Not like we have any bloody experience for this. Not a bloody soul has come this far south. Who knows what's ahead? Having trouble? Kurt approaches, a more noticeable limp on the man, forcing him to use his cane. What do you want? Still trying to get the compasses working again. Threatened that I might? The look on Kurt's face is one of hesitation as his eyes dart around, doing all to avoid the gaze of Hammond. I have something to declare regarding my previous actions. Carry on, Kurt. Spit it out then, or not this again. Say carry on. Well, I believe that in dire circumstances, pride can often take the better of us. Stop stalling. What are you trying to say? I would just like to apologize over our earlier scrap. I got carried away before, and I see it did neither of us any good. You're right there. It's not in me to hold a grudge, Hammond. Least of all trapped out in this cold. Enough with the appeals. Just spit it out. Just spit it out, why don't you? We should be working together. And more importantly, I am sorry. From the bottom of my heart, I apologize. Hammond pauses for a moment while looking towards Kurt. After that moment, he returns to tinkering with his equipment before finally speaking. Accepted. Excuse me, what was that? Apology accepted. And do you wish to apologize to Kurt, Hammond? You really are the bigger man, Kurt, or so I can expect you two to work together. Say, and do you wish to apologize to Kurt, Hammond? Aye, sure. I apologize. Apology accepted, Hammond. Aye, sure. Well, I suppose I'll be off. Best of luck with your adjustments, Hammond. There's no chance of getting them working here. We're relying on you. I'm sure I'm a relic when compared to your machines. I'm relying on you. Ah, I see. Kurt steps away, returning to camp at large. In the chat, the environment's the culprit in a story about a hostile place? Who could have foreseen this? Construct the marker site. Mark your journey. Read the inscription. Here we honor the crew of the Temperance, who ventured beyond the Pale Passage and arrived safely. Robin Shaw, Richard Templeton, Clive Hammond, Kurt Darling, Grimley Stoke, Junior Stoke, Lady Cordell, Dr. Arthur Nutley, I did try to call him Arthley, Kasha Belford, Andre Isaac, Dwight Glossley, Harriet Glossley, Vern Sheridan, John, Timmy Ward, Skylar Pleck, Harold Turner, Tolson Higgs, Rafe, June, Doug Ward, Gareth Forrester, Ricky Flogs, Hadrian Quilsley, Yorick Moore, and Soren Kiliper. Yeah, so if you lose crew, this is where you build, headstones for them. Or, I mean, they're not stones. I think we're making them out of wood. I don't think we have to worry about food in the hoosh pot anymore, so we're gonna do cross the ridge. Oh. There's a... How do you pronounce this? It's like cairn, I think. Oh, there's a gun! Okay. Inside the cairn? I don't know, is that how you say it? You find a letter, some supplies, and a bolt-action rifle. Let's read this letter. To you who finds this message, here lies the final testament of the Viscount. We made our arrival on the east shore of the island. Before moving on, we established a cabin to mark the landing point. There you will find enough supplies to support a crew of 20 for a full year. We have a crew of 25, so... we could make do. While charting the perimeter of the island, the crew came across a cavern at the mouth of the central mountain. Captain Whalen decided to split the crew in order to chart the location further. His half have elected to enter the cave through the open stream, while we have been sent to mark the western coast on land. I don't trust the captain. His actions of late have been erratic, cagey. He's avoided all questions from myself and the rest of the crew. This behavior has only exasperated since encountering the cave. Enclosed is an instrument that may be needed in some time. If you find said instrument to be missing from this cairn, then you will know that the worst has occurred. If you are reading this in our wake, another poor crew sent to this isle, heed my advice. Turn back. There is something truly wrong with this land. It has felt the touch of the three sisters, cursed to swallow poor sailors whole. If you are wise, you will not allow it to happen to you. Turn back. Signed, Bertram Reynolds, head scout of the Viscount. So... things seem bad. Oh, our hoosh pot got filled. I didn't do that. That's weird. I guess we don't need this wood. Like, I say, oh, we probably don't need this wood, and then something will happen. Like, man, if only we had used that wood. So that was a pretty, yeah, you come all this way, and then you find evidence that, hey, the thing you were looking for, or like the people you were looking for were here, and they're like, this place is bad, turn around. That's really not great. Yeah, and the chat, so ominous, yeah. And their captain was being weird too. Now the thing is, like, the letter said that it only happened once they got here. But it's like... yeah. Was it discovering something that made the captain start acting weird? Or was it more like that now they were at the spot? But it was always, like, kind of maybe keeping things a secret from the crew. Like, our captain definitely was. Anyway, a wave of ease and rest falls over the crew, safe and fed. The crew look to you, tired and bruised. You consider what words will bolster them. You all make your way to the marker. Oh, I guess first I need to talk to people. I guess we'll start with Templeton. Captain, we've escaped the ice. We're on land. Oh yeah, now you can see his coat is all, like, torn up. Oh, lost one button altogether. Another one is coming loose. Even his, like, facial hair, you can see is growing, like some is growing in. Captain, we've escaped the ice. We're on land. We're so close now, Shaw. So very close. We both saw that cairn, Captain. Traces of the expedition which came before us. Shaw, I believe we can still find the Viscount. Our mission can continue. Are you joking, Templeton? Your mission is over. Why is finding that ship so important to you? Do you really think there's a chance we can actually find it? I guess I'll say that. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, surely. I know that after all this time, the specifics of our employ may seem inconsequential. But tell me, Captain, do you think the Appertons would pour all of this effort, put this many lives at risk, if they didn't think there was something truly paradigm-shifting at the end of it? You still have a mountain to ascend before making that choice. Ask me again, then. Don't think for a second that we aren't going to finish what we started. I'll make this clear, Templeton. I have no intention of recovering the Viscount. Our survival comes first. I mean, yeah. We have a mountain to ascend. Let's... Ask me again, then. Very well. We can discuss this further once we've traversed this mountain. He stops and turns before leaving. One last thing. What happened to your captain's hat? You kept it. What do you mean, what happened to it? You're the one. You tried to give it to me and I said no thanks. And then you kept it. Why are you asking me, Templeton? You had it last. Honestly, I have no idea. He leaves. What the fuck? Alright. Nutley approaches you. Captain, we've come a long way, haven't we? Not much longer now. You've grown quite a lot in that time, Nutley. We've still got a mountain ahead of us. I'd say not much longer now. Yes, rescue isn't far from our reach. The crew can breathe a sigh of relief. Before we move on, there's something I have to confess. Something that I've carried on my back this whole time. I don't feel right keeping it from you any further, so I allowed Captain Hunt to abandon us. You did what? Explain. You bastard. I'll have you tried for this when we return. Let's say explain. When the ship was going down, I saw him. I watched as he grabbed his supplies and began to take off onto the ice. He saw me, but didn't say a word. He knew that I was too spineless to do anything. I couldn't even bring myself to tell anyone. He was right. I was too spineless. Until now, at least. And now you know. Arthur, it wasn't your fault. Expect no punishment for this. Deception, assisted mutiny, insubordination, you'll never work again. Damn. I don't care about the mistakes of your past. Learn from this and move forward. I mean, it wasn't your fault, Arthur. I didn't help. Every time I could have done something, I froze up, and I'll carry that guilt with me. I'm sorry. The truth had to come out. Do what you will with this information. I'll accept anything you decide, Captain. Nutley walks off, returning to his tent. Alright, and now we've got, it said Kasha and Kurt. Oh, she lost her hat. Captain, is there something I should be made aware of? What do you mean? Is this about the Apperton Company? We're keeping no secrets if that's what you're implying. I'll say this is about the Apperton Company. You should be like, no, what about Apperton? That'd be funny. Oh. Oh, yeah, the tin food. No. Oh. Mr. Templeton has been snooping around, interrogating me on my report. It seems as we approach rescue, he's taken it upon himself to approve of what lies in my writing. He has taken it upon himself, correct? You didn't set him up to this, right? Templeton is acting of his own accord. He has good reasons for worry. Tasha, I'll inform Templeton to leave you be. Just say Templeton's acting of his own accord. No secrets at all in the chat. And also, I assume this was about Templeton's appearance. He's downright higgledy-piggledy. Good to know. I'm no stranger to people who want to omit parts of my work. I saw plenty of it while covering the riots, but I have no intention of censoring this report. A story not based in the truth is worthless. If I have to leave parts out or fabricate others, then was it a story worth telling in the first place? You could always gloss it up a little. Kurt. Kurt, no. You turn your head to see Kurt approaching, apparently having eavesdropped on the conversation. What do you mean? Well, a story can still be plenty honest, but some require a little bit of polish. What about your films? Weren't they the honest accounts of your expeditions? Oh no! This is why they say don't meet your heroes. Ah, they were. Well, more or less. More or less? Most of it was true, I'm sure. There is no objective truth. After all, the camera adds 10 pounds. I'm certain the films played up his heroics. Where's the option to stay out of it? Sure, yeah. Most of it? I'm not interested in mostly true. I thought you of all people would understand the tricks a camera can pull. You're right. Kurt shouldn't suggest you lie about this expedition. Don't be so naive, Kasha. There's much of this expedition I don't intend to be heard by anyone. I'll say you're right. Kurt shouldn't suggest you lie about this expedition. I'm not suggesting anything. I'm suggesting nothing of the sort. But I'm no stranger to the world of show business. What I do isn't show business, Kurt. It's journalism. I've been around both long enough to know they're one and the same. You should hear some of the tabloid rumors I've read about myself in my time. I'm aiming to be better than the gutter press, Kurt. You've been part of countless documentaries. Surely you would care about presenting the facts. The facts are not immune to artistic license. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I'm certain Kasha has no need to lie in order to paint this crew positively. Do you wish us to omit your fight with Hammond? The facts are the facts, Kurt. If we look bad, so be it. Say, I'm certain Kasha has no need to lie in order to paint this crew positively. Of course, of course. But those who read these sorts of things can be tremendously judgmental. Why are you suggesting this, Kurt? I just feel that we've braved so much that we deserve a somewhat flattering write-up. So perhaps some omissions are necessary. Such as what? Many of this crew come from backgrounds best not shared with the public, and more has happened here that should remain on the ice. That private conversation with Nutley. You resigned yourself from the sale. Is that what this is? You want nobody to know about whatever health issue you keep under wraps? Oh my god, no, we're not gonna bring it up. I mean, okay, we don't need to make his health public, his health issues public when he doesn't want to. Like, that's fine, but, like, that's none of your business. Cardiomyopathy, Nutley said. Kurt avoided a heart attack. Regardless, it will remain under wraps. It's not for the public to know. I'll just say it will remain under wraps. Not for the public to know, right? She's gonna be mad about that. I'm simply stating that for this kind of story, people reading want to be inspired. There's no reason to saddle them with the nitty-gritty. But I am here for the story, the full story. Not a single solitary soul wants to hear the full story. Nobody got into an Arctic expedition because they heard about the rest of us having dysentery. You just want to protect your own image, don't you? What? Well, no, it's nothing of the sort, but I'm no fool. I see exactly what you're trying to do. We're not your publicist, Kurt. The man has a point, Kasha. Let's not debate this matter. It can wait until we're on our way home. Let me do a check-in about how we're doing. Okay. Okay. Do you think they'll both hate it if I say let's wait until we're on our way home? Yeah. No, this is important. I didn't think you would be so concerned about your image, Kurt. Well, that's your mistake. Mistake? You can't expect me to be the perfect role model you see in the films. I'm only human. I've been married thrice, hobbled once, and been plagued with every vice there is. What I do have is my exploits and my legacy. I would wish you not to take that away from me as well. Kasha looks to you, her usual upbeat visage melted away into disbelief. I can't lie on your behalf, Kurt. You don't understand the power of optics. Every part of your report puts my livelihood at stake. Your livelihood or your image? The cold truth is, there's no difference between the two. And you, Captain, do you believe this as well? Oh, God. Oh, God, I don't know. I mean, I don't have a fucking image. Like, what are you asking? That if I care about my image, like, I don't have, like, or do I care about Kurt's image? What are you asking me, Kasha? What do you want from me? What do both of you want from me? I want out of this conversation. I don't want to, God, you know, you're free to publish as you please. Like, about me. Like, I don't want to just give blanket permission, like, you know, overstepping what other people might be comfortable with being out there, you know? Kurt, leave us be. I'll speak with Kasha. I don't know. Please, Kasha, take it into consideration. I can't believe you. It's simply a matter of painting a more flattering picture. That is no difficult task. Maybe not for you, Kurt. Kasha storms back to her tent as Kurt gives you an uncomfortable glance. The man looks shaken by the response, and above all appears to be deeply embarrassed. Without a word, he staggers back to the heart of the camp. Well, that went great. Ready for a little pep talk? The encomium for the crew. What is that? Is that just another word for speech or gathering? What does that mean? The crew are called together before you. I feel like if you choose a different option in that conversation, because how I remember that conversation ending is Kasha outright calling Kurt pathetic. So I must have chosen something else for that conversation to go that way. The crew are called together before you. You tentatively lift yourself onto a crate. Hushed whispers roll through the audience. Kasha readies her ledger and pencil. They once again await your next words. How will you deliver them? As if nothing has changed since you last did this, with renewed optimism befitting of solid ground, with the implicit confidence in the impossible results you've achieved so far. Let's say renewed optimism. The irrefutable evidence of progress can be felt beneath your feet. The crew looked to you. Now, I'm not one for grand speeches. That much should be clear by now. I'll keep this short, or we should all be well acquainted by now. Sure. To be honest with you, I never wanted to be the captain of this expedition. To be honest with you, I never expected to be the captain of this expedition. I've tried my best to rise to the occasion. I'll say I never expected. No, we're not gonna ask, does anyone take issue with my continued leading? No, we're not gonna do that. We'll say we can breathe a sigh of relief. We made it land. So I see in the chat, encomium, however the hell you say that. It's a Jane Austen-y way to say stuffy compliment. Ah, gotcha. And then also in chat, yeah, that is tough and a bit too broad. Like he wanted his movie stuff to go to his kids to support them if when he died. Yeah. Exactly. It's like, yeah, I know I'm the captain, so I guess in a way I kind of have final say. Maybe, I don't know. Like, do I have the final say? Does Templeton, because he's the one who works for I mean, we all work for Apperton technically, but he's the one who was like handpicked by Apperton to be put here, but also it wasn't Apperton that brought Kasha on board, it was Captain Hunt. So I don't know, it's just a complicated thing. We can breathe a sigh of relief. We have made land. There are indeed several heavy breaths released among the crew. A silent moment of reflection passes. I'm only sorry that Cordell's kennel could not make it with us. Yes, for saying that, because I want to acknowledge them. I wish we put Stanberry's name on the marker. Cordell gives a small nod to you and thanks. Kurt speaks up. Our work's not finished yet. We still have a mountain to scale. We all saw the cairn from the Viscount. Across that path is safety, a cabin with enough supplies to last us until rescue. Templeton clears his throat. What is our current priority, Captain? We must reach that cabin. We must reach rescue. We are heading home. We came here for a reason, the Viscount. We're so close now. No matter what, we must scale that mountain. We'll know our next course of action from there. Kurt gives a nod. The assurance of solid ground seems to stir those listening. Yeah, we're at 100. Decorum again. Well said, Captain. Indeed. Well, we don't have much time. Best be moving on. Back to work. The crew are granted the time they need before they eventually disperse, returning to their roles at camp. Alright. Finish that. I think we'll do this part and then we'll take a break because I just saw what time it is. Yeah, we'll do this. Yeah, your dream, you're back on the Temperance. Wake up, shaken. You awake, shaken. Literally, by the engineer. He stands over you, bug-eyed. For a moment you think you're back on the Temperance. Hammond? The ship is sinking! Or what's going on? Let's say Hammond? Shaw. It's Cordell. What about Cordell? You starting more fights, Hammond? Get up. I'll just get up. You peel yourself from the sleeping bag and get up. Oh, there's food and supplies missing from the stores. And our gun. I think she's trying to make a run for it. Are you sure? I never took Cordell for a craven. Lead the way. Then why are you wasting time with me? We need to stop her. I'll just say lead the way. The two of you charge out of the tent into the snow. I found tracks heading up towards the mountain pass. Man, I'm skipping words. Follow the tracks. You follow the tracks away from camp. she is with Stanberry, and there's Hammond. Keep looking. Oh. I zoomed in too much, apparently. It's half an hour before you finally spot her, ascending the dead mountain. Shh. There she is. Go back to camp. I'll handle this. Don't shush me. Let's approach slowly. Follow my lead. Sure. You both creep towards her silhouette. Get closer. Draw your gun. No! We're just gonna say her name. Cordell. Cordell picks up on the sound, slowly turning back around to spot you both in her line of sight. She clears her throat. Captain Shaw. Hammond. To what do I owe this surprise? Don't play coy. We know what you're up to. Then you seem to be several steps ahead of myself. And what am I apparently up to? Please, educate me. You think you can just abandon the crew in the dead of night? You know full well why we're here. Getting a head start on tomorrow's scouting? A fine idea! Oh, God. You know full well why we're here. I can't say I do. I have no reasonable idea what you're trying to tell me. If you wish to make paranoid accusations, you should inform me of what those accusations are. I think you can. Okay, well, I guess now we'll say, because I'm not going to draw a gun on her. You think you can just abandon the crew in the dead of night? This isn't a matter of can. It's the question of should. And from my position, you've really left me with no alternative. At least tell me why you're trying to leave. You're not making any sense. Why now? Why not when we cross the mountain? Sure. Stanberry's expecting. Expecting what? I don't care. Then you should be doing what's best for those pups. What does it look like I'm doing, Robin? I don't care. If you leave, you're ensuring their demise. Perhaps, but there's more of a chance out here than with the rest of you. I'm not going to allow Stanberry and I to be part of this expedition any further. Fine, you can leave. Do you really think the two of you will be better off without the rest of us? I see you in chat. Puppies? And a lot of question marks. Uh-huh. I do. Those puppies will be my new litter. I'll start over. Certainly not the first time I've had to do that. The snowfall has begun to set on you both. You should have come to me first, Cordell. It's not the leaving I'm concerned with, it's the theft of this expedition's supplies. You're going to have to shoot me before you leave. I propose a duel. You should have come to me first. You both know that wouldn't have worked. Then let me convince you now. I'm listening. Stanberry, here, girl. Hammond needs someone else with their head screwed on straight. You might feel that you don't need us, but we need you, both of you. Oh, Stan is calling Stanberry. That's so funny. Do we go with the funny thing? And the LMAO shake a treat back and call Stanberry back. Exactly. What if I go with the last one? What if I say Hammond needs someone with their head screwed on straight? Do you think she would appreciate that? Oh, he agrees. Aye, there's much to be done, and you've already proven you're not in this for the wrong reasons. Help me keep the furnace running. Help me keep the rest of these idiots alive. She considers the man's words for a minute. And because she's loyal. Because we have our loyalties. She finally walks over to you. The three of you. The four of you. Okay. The three of you begin the long trek back to camp. Stanberry follows patiently. Not a word is spoken on the journey back. Week 39. Land. Oh my god. Okay, they're throwing us into this. Okay, well I said we were gonna take a break. You may be able to guess where things are leading here. It does look like we're gonna be able to finish this. It's gonna be a little bit of a longer stream, but not by not by a whole lot. But we are gonna take a little 10-minute break here. You know, it just kind of goes at this point. Let me change over. I know, from the chat, an actual cliffhanger, yes. And everything will go totally fine in this scene, and nothing bad will happen at all. Oh, I see in chat. I need to head out. Have a good end of the game. Thank you, Bethany. And thanks for hanging out for as long as you were able to. But yeah, we're gonna take a 10-minute break and then come back and keep on going for the end, because I feel like we can do this. We got this. All right. See you on the other side. All right. Welcome back. We left off on a cliffhanger. So now we are we apparently just jumped right into beginning the trek up and over the mountain. I did see right before, or like basically right as the break started, I saw in chat, this is giving Red Dead Redemption 2 Chapter 6 vibes. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Second, okay. So we've got Kurt. Going Kasha, careful. Turn your head to spot Kasha perched precariously over the edge, her camera in hand, lining up another shot from her position. It's a great shot of the horizon, trust me. You've got a good shot of falling to your death. Get back over here. The ground isn't safe. You can't trust anything beneath your feet this high up. Kasha doesn't heed their warnings. Instead, lining up the shot and snapping it cleanly. There. No issue. And this just might be the banner image from my report. If the civilian is done being foolish, might we move on? Kasha nods and turns back around to join the rest of the crew. Only for her to slip on the ice beneath. You lunge forward and pull Kasha forward so that she isn't hurtling over the edge, but her initial stumble sent the camera falling below. That was a close one. My camera! Be thankful the camera took the plunge and not yourself, young one. Despite reassurances, Kasha moves back to the edge of the cliff, peering over, searching for her camera. I can't lose it! Everything from this expedition was on there. Wait, I see it! Nonsense, it's a blip on the rocks. You can't see the ground from this distance. No, it's not on the ground. It's snagged on the ice. It's not too far down. I can climb back down and... Not a hope. You want to go back to climbing? If I lose that camera, my entire reason for being on this nightmare goes with it. I'm getting that camera. I mean, in a way, it kind of doesn't make sense because she's already been developing pictures, so it definitely... Those pictures are not still in the camera. But anyways... I get that she doesn't want to lose it. She turns to you. Captain, we have to do something. This is your mistake. If you fall to your death, it's your own damn fault. I'm not putting anyone else at risk over this. It's just a camera, Kasha. You've still got your notes. Or no? It's just a camera, Kasha. You've still got your notes. My notes aren't enough. The world needs those photos to believe this. Okay, fine. It's your own damn fault. You didn't listen to people when they told you not to. Kasha moves quickly forwards to retrieve her camera. Kurt steps forward. I'll do it. No, you won't. Fine, but be careful, or all caps. Have you two gotten mad? Fine, but be careful. I'm coming too. This is my fault. You'll be safe with me. Very well. No, I meant the man with the years of bloody climbing route. On second thought, this is all a terrible idea. We're leaving the camera. We're gonna let him. We're gonna let him. Kurt affixes the rope to Kasha, locking her in tight with the climbing gear. Leave the climbing to me. As a civilian, your safety is top priority. I would suggest rethinking this plan of action. We cannot afford to lose our navigator. It's because I'm the navigator that I'm going down. If I can't save that camera, no one can. That would be the preferable option. Kurt pays no heed to the protests of Templeton, continuing to climb down with Kasha in tow. Thank you. Don't thank me until the job is well done. Bad luck otherwise. They're risking their lives for a bloody picture box. You should stop this, Shaw. Get back here this instant. That's an order. Kurt, your pay will be docked for this, or I'm just letting them go. It's more dramatic for this story. It doesn't make sense, like, logic-wise, but it's more dramatic, okay? Kurt and Kasha begin to slide down the wall of the cliff at a steady pace, Kasha keeping her eyes on her camera at all times. Easy now. Easy now. You can do this, Kurt. Reassuring yourself isn't very reassuring to me, you know. Okay, I think I can get it from here. Think? Both of you, please don't make any rash movements. She collects the camera. And there we go. Get back up here, you madman. Job well done. So much for bad luck. Yes, now let's climb back up. Kurt begins to adjust the lines of his climbing gear, prepared to lead Kasha up. But the extra weight from the camera causes the rock beneath Kurt's feet to crumble, and the former film star goes hurtling back. He snaps to a standstill. The line between himself and Kasha is still intact, but the weight of the big man's fall pulls Kasha back from the face of the cliff. Blast! Kasha, are you alright? I can't see the cliff. What's happening? The blasted line won't hold with me. Pull us up! The rest of the crew hang back, lest any added weight at the cliff's edge cause an even more dire incident. As you look down, you see the pair flailing, helpless. Kasha spots you. Captain! God, start cutting the rope! Command Kasha to drop the camera. Not after all that! We're saving that damn camera! Command the crew to pull them both up. The crew scrambles to start pulling the rope up. No doubt the dangling weight of Kurt is also putting strain on the back end of the rope as it's tied to a jagged rock at the peak. You notice the rope beginning to fray at the edge. So does Kurt. The navigator pulls out his knife. Kasha! She looks down at the man as he shouts. I always promised myself I'd lose a few bastarding pounds. Bit late for that, I suppose. Take a photo. What? Take a photo of me. For prosperity. Once in a lifetime shot. No. Do it. Start cutting the rope. Command Kasha, drop the camera. Say, don't you dare, Kurt. He isn't listening. I'll cut this rope before I let you cut yours. Let him do it, Kasha. You can pull her up, Kurt. You can do this. You see a twinkle in the man's eye. I think the first time I played it, I threatened to cut the I was like, I'll cut her down too. Which is like really fucked up, but you see a twinkle in the man's eye. Do you really believe that, Captain? Stop wasting time and get to it. Don't leave me up here with Templeton, you cretin. You're Kurt. Of course you can. The Templeton line is funny, but I'm already on thin ice with Templeton, so I don't want to make him mad. He puts the knife in his teeth. He starts to swing his admittedly oppressive weight. As he reaches the mountainside, he takes the knife and cuts his line. Before gripping to the side of the mountain and returning the knife to his mouth. He begins to climb. Kurt? The navigator responds through the metal between his teeth. They faked this stunt in my third film, but it's worth a shot now. Kasha silently prepares the camera for a photo. She daren't use the flash. The man climbs until he's beside Kasha. He takes the camera from her and continues gripping the mountain. Pull the rope! Heave to! The crew begin to pull the rope. Keep going! Kurt, Kasha, and the camera are all pulled to safety! As they reach the peak, Kurt bursts into relieved laughter. Don't laugh, that was terrifying! We made it out alright, I think. Still, that was, well, just like the movies. Yes, it was all quite daring. Might we move on? Can we give everyone a breather? I'm glad you both made it out. I was so worried. Can't believe the show business fake would be actually daring. I can hardly believe it myself. What had happened? Believe me, this will be a full page in my report. I don't require the credit. Stop the faux humble, Kurt. You're allowed to be proud right now. You're a real hero. Aw. But yeah, Kurt can die there. Kurt and Kasha could die there, I think. But we're not letting anyone else die, alright? Yeah, let's see in the chat. How heavy was that camera? And then all caps, phew! Alright, move on to the peak of the mountain. This really weird looking cave entrance. It's probably fine and normal. The crew finally crest the mountaintop. Grabbing everyone's attention is a cave in the rock wall. A cave. A good spot, some shelter from the winds. Still, what lies inside, it may prove a danger. The crew get to work, setting up camp at the peak of the mountain. Camp is set up. Alright, we reached a save point. Okay, we've got Kasha and Kurt talking. We find Kasha carefully inspecting her camera. Still works. Would have been a shame to lose it this far in. We should be grateful nothing more important was lost. As Kurt approaches, Kasha lets out a small chuckle. Yes, I suppose I should have my priorities in order. Don't think you won't be reprimanded for your actions, Kasha. Your life is much more important than that camera. Well done, Kurt. That was almost a disaster. We'll do that. Please, let's not heap praise, Captain. It was all instinct. There is something I should say. Past comments I made. Forgiven. Well, allow me to apologize first. No, I understand now. You can't convince me to lie in my report. I'll tell the entire truth. I understand. And the truth is that Kurt Darling is a true hero. You needn't say that. I've caused my fair share of trouble on this expedition. Yes, and I don't intend to hide that from anyone. But your heroism is more important to share. What did you tell me about inspiring others? Thank you. I can only hope another young Kasha Belford reads my report. Let's hope they grow to be a little less reckless than you. You deserve to be commended, Kurt. You can still clean up some aspects, right? I'll just say you deserve to be commended, Kurt. We don't deserve anything, Robin. That shouldn't be our motivation. Chasing glory has been my vice for too long. Whatever you write about me, it has my blessing. There, I can expect honesty. Thank you, friend. And thank you. Alright, request, tent. What are we even doing in here? Oh, it's just Templeton. Why are you outside? Why is she just in here talking to me like usual? Alright, Captain, it is time. We're at a crossroads and a decision needs to be made. We both read the cairn. We know the location of the Viscount lies in this cave. We are this close. Our mission's end lies in wait. What if pursuing it causes us to miss our rescue? Survival is our goal, not the Viscount. What do you expect to find there? Let's see that. Answers, for better or worse. If what we read is correct, the shore cabin should hold enough rations to last us a full year. We can afford the risk of missing a single rescue ship. I think it's worth it. I mean, like, in this position, I don't know if I would do that, but, for this game, we gotta know. We gotta know what's in the weird, creepy cave. You know? We're not gonna just go by and say, no thanks. Who would do that? You're right, we can't turn away from this opportunity. We're going in the cave. Indeed. You should inform the crew of our movement as soon as you leave this tent. I know you will make the right call, Captain. Oh, I mean, first we got people to talk to. We got a bunch of hearts. That means they like us. Let's talk to Templeton. You find the crew's science officer overlooking several petri dishes containing various materials picked from the walls of the cave. Curiouser and curiouser. Don't be concerning yourself with some minerals, Templeton. What's curious or at ease, Templeton? What's curious? Captain, observe the materials we've uncovered in just the entrance of this cave. Copper, tungsten, antimony. These are deposits more likely found in lakes, not all in a cave. Let alone a mountaintop cave in the polar region. Nothing about it seems natural. Could this be why the Abertons were looking for this area? I don't like it either. Some rocks are different. Doesn't mean anything. That's what the Abertons are looking for. Perhaps. Captain, may I ask you a question? Go ahead. This better be good. I feel you'll ask regardless. We'll say go ahead. Oh, I see his pocket is like torn now. I've assumed you must enjoy my questions at this stage. You keep humoring them. Oh, it's like a little bit of a smile, almost. Well, regardless, we've been working together for quite some time now, and in that time, I've been able to evaluate you. After assessing your abilities and your decision-making, I can safely conclude that you are more than capable in your role as captain. As such, I would like to offer you a job. With the Apperton Company, you wish to work with me again, Templeton? What's the pay like? I'll say you wish to work with me again? My wishes are irrelevant. You are more than qualified for the role. I can easily recommend you to the company head. It's time I told you the truth of who we're working for. There's even more you haven't told me? About time. Out with it. I have a feeling I won't like this. Oh boy. Let's see, there's even more you haven't told me? It's beneficial to keep the cards close to my chest until you were fully evaluated. Templeton reveals a tin can of rations. He passes it over to you. The woman modeling on the front stares back at you before you look back to Templeton. Yes, the Apperton Company. Apperton Company, I already knew that. What, am I working for the model? I'm not hungry. Besides, this is long expired. What, am I working for the model? Yes, actually. Her name is Minerva Apperton. She is the president of Apperton Tinning Company. Her? She's real? Templeton, I fear I may have lead poisoning. But why would she fund this expedition? The same reason anyone would. Tinned foods is perhaps the lowest priority with the company in today's age, as you can likely tell by the shoddy work on our rations. Instead, Lady Apperton is focused on turning our company into the only option in commerce. Which is why she sought after the expedition of the Viscount. She's interested in what the Viscount found in the ice. And just what did they find? She thinks it will help her company. Tell me everything you know. Just what did they find? No doubt there are several details Minerva has kept hidden from even myself, but I will tell you what I can. The original expedition of the Viscount was carried out by the government, a race to find the southernmost point of the world, charter it out in the name of glory and science. But upon arrival, it appears they discovered the same strange environments as we have, and so they chose to investigate instead of heading back. And contrary to legend and hearsay, it wasn't the cold and the starvation that drove the crew mad. It was what they found there that took their minds. How do we know this? And just what did they find? More secrets. How many more are up your sleeve, Templeton? How do we know this? There was a witness. A survivor washed ashore. Half mad, their tongue cut out. They lived only long enough to give us a hint at what we're looking for. It is unknown what exactly lies in wait for us should we find the Viscount, but from what we know, the crew of that vessel found something world-changing. This is no mere treasure. What they found was unnatural in nature, a paradox existing at the most southern point of the world. And whoever can retrieve it, bring it back to civilization, will shape the path of human advancement for the next century. I read the last one. Hearing that, I believe I'm being underpaid for a mission of this magnitude. Sounds like Minerva has been swept up in a myth. You knew this the entire time and you never told me. God. It's like just being swept up in a myth. Sorry, pissed you off with that. Our benefactor is not susceptible to mere rumor and hearsay, I assure you. We do not risk our lives on a whim. Cannot forgive being kept in the dark of this. It's a legend, nothing more. Then it is our top priority to recover what the Viscount found. Sure. I mean, now we gotta know. Precisely my thoughts, Captain. It's good to see we are both of the same level mind. Now, I have told you all that I know. Please, leave me to my research. You turn, but Templeton speaks up once more. Oh, Captain. You never officially responded to my offer. Do you wish to work with the Apperton Tinny Company after this? Yes, I would. I will take it under consideration. Certainly not. I need time to think about it. Let's see what we find first, and then we'll see. Take it into consideration. See that you do, Captain. Let's speak to the brothers. Oh, they're looking... He's got a lot more facial hair now. They're looking scruffy. Jacket's tearing. What will it be, Shaw? Status report? Well, the good news is we're likely not to starve tonight, at least. Can't be surprised by anything at this point. One thing. Haven't noticed much wildlife on this island. We're out further than anyone else has gone. Looks like even the birds and seals don't want to be here. Think there might be something in the cave? It would be a pleasant surprise if a mountain cave had a fresh haul of penguins and seals, but I doubt it. We better hope that Karen was telling the truth about the shore cabin then. I mean, we're not going there yet. Now let's not rule that out. We'll be able to sort something out. Thank you for the update. So let's not rule it out. Maybe the little blight spawned from there. Who knows? Thank you for listening, Captain. Oh, wait, did you just call me Captain? So thank you both for all your hard work. No bother, simply doing my duty. I'll just say thank you. We're not gonna point it out that he called me Captain finally for the first time. We're just trying to do right by the crew. But that recognition doesn't go unnoticed. Right, Grimly? Aye. Will that be all? I was wondering if you two would like to work with me again after this. Try to make this next meal last. We don't know if any of the food... We don't know if any food lies ahead of us. Yes, that'll be all. I mean, maybe. We'll see. I was wondering if you two would like to work with me again after this. As permanent crew? I don't know, Captain. Your expeditions so far are marred with disaster. Junior chuckles to himself. But if we end up triumphing in the face of it, we'll consider it. Take care, Captain. Alright. Speak to Hammond and Kurt. You notice Hammond and Kurt huddled around... I forgot that we could zoom in. Huddled around the boiler, deep in conversation. As you approach, their heads perk up, noticing you. Captain, didn't see you there. Apologies, Captain. Seems we were both caught up in our work. My work? You're just watching me, Kurt. But you did manage to pick out the materials. We were just replacing the spyglass I cracked on the mountain. It may not be of any use in this cave, but you never know when we might need it next. Aye, once again, my boiler comes in handy. It's good to see you two aren't bickering again. Kurt, I've been meaning to ask how you're faring after the incident on the mountain. What do you make of this cave, Kurt? Let's ask about the cave. It's an odd one, no doubt. A lot of questions we shouldn't be answering. Our priority should be to get to shore, not go spelunking. Coming from you? Isn't that the point of your shite films? Upon hearing that, Kurt puffs out his chest. Oh, so you've seen my films? Just the one. And what did you think? Pure bollocks. I should have figured. I think they're rather good. I haven't seen enough to judge. Tripe is kinder than what I'd call them. I'll say I haven't seen enough to judge. You've never seen my films? Well, I hope you would amend that once we return to civilization. I just can't get over all the inaccuracies in them. What inaccuracies? You take me for a fool, Kurt. I know a staged shot when I see one. Well, they did certainly clean up a lot in the edit. I don't get it. What don't you understand, chum? You're a proper bloody navigator, Kurt. And a damn hero. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. Thank you. So why do you star in all those phony films? I wouldn't call them phony. And, well, they may not be the picture of accuracy, but they have a power to inspire people, more so than any true story could. Hammond likely doesn't see the value in inspiration. I think the real experience is more valuable. Maybe I should watch them then. I'd say maybe I should watch them then. They come highly recommended. By who? You? Who else? A bit biased, aren't you? Well, I can't deny that. Take it from me, Captain. Don't waste your time on them. I wouldn't say that. But there's much I wouldn't say that you would, Hammond. In fact, it's clear that if there's one thing I'm in need of, it's someone who can keep me grounded. Get to it, Kurt. What do you want to say? I was wondering, would you consider... Spit it out, would you? Alright, would you consider joining me after this, on further expeditions? As an engineer? Yes, but also as a level head. I need someone like you. I'll think about it, Kurt. I think Hammond would love to. The 2 of you on the same crew again sounds like a recipe for disaster. Perhaps I could join you both. Bring the whole crew back together. Wouldn't that be fun? We've already spent almost 40 weeks together. Doesn't spending more time with each other just sound great? Asking for a job, Captain? The 3 of us on the same crew again. That's bound to go horribly wrong. Oh, but he's smiling. Just a little bit. Perhaps, but I think our ingenuity will help us pull through. Hammond pulls up the replacement spyglass. Anyway, here you are. All finished. Incredible. Great work, Hammond. No problem, Kurt. Oh no, don't make me... Kahurangi. What? My real name. Kurt's just for the media. Kahurangi Toro. Alright, Kahurangi. I apologize for my pronunciations. See you around, friend. You too. Now we have Kasha and Arthur over here. I do see in the chat, Kurt movie marathon! They're kissing! You pass the tent and are quick to notice what's going on. Kasha, the intrepid photographer, standing close to the doctor, their faces pressed closely together. She's alerted to your footsteps and opens her eyes which quickly widen as you're spotted. Quickly, she and Nutley pull away from each other, their heads nervously swiveling around the tent, Nutley letting out a punctuated cough. Captain, you could have cleared your throat or something. We were just, care to explain? Sticking together for warmth, a clever decision. I should have expected this with 2 immature youths aboard the crew. In the chat, gasp! Yeah, sticking together for warmth. Clever decision. Yes, quite clever. Very, very clever of us to be doing that. That was definitely what we were... Arthur, I think our good captain was joshing us. That or Shaw is quite dense, and that would be a greater issue for us. And just when did this start? Did you honestly intend to keep this a secret? Or congratulations, both of you. Just... It feels weird to say congratulations, but the other ones feel weird too. This feels like the least weird thing to say. Oh? Thank you, Captain. We should be thanking you, Shaw. Placing us together in one tent for a year certainly fostered conversation. I never considered myself a matchmaker. Don't blame me for this. Spare me any of the details. I don't care. I never considered myself a matchmaker. In all chat. I mean, in cat. Oh god, I can't talk. In chat, in all caps, I see youths. We spoke at length, at first about his unexpectedly vast knowledge of ice fishing, and ending with casual conversation about our favorite newspaper strips. Well, it wasn't entirely casual. What do you mean? Aha! I knew you didn't notice it. Notice what? Kasha clears her throat before putting on an affected voice, dramatically quoting her past statements. Why, Doctor, I think you would be a great subject for my next report. I'm sure you wouldn't mind a write-up on your interesting life. A handsome young medical prodigy? You must have a bevy of suitors. Doctor, there's this excellent seafood restaurant in the capital. We should absolutely eat there when we return to land. Kasha chuckles to herself. I used we, for goodness sake. I was beginning to think you were oblivious to all flirtation. I recognized some of it. I was just too nervous at the time to respond. Though it's true, I did think you were just passionate about seafood. I expect nothing less from you, Nutley. And then, or I've heard enough, I don't need the entire story. And then... We couldn't help ourselves. Honestly, I deeply admired her passion for her craft, her headstrong way of thinking, how she was so focused on her future, everything I wanted in myself. And I admired his courage when up against his fears in possibly the worst situations possible. That's the kind of thing they make films out of. Just as I thought we were winding down, I told her I wanted to see her again after we returned to civilization. Suffice it to say, I was surprised that he would just blurt it out. I surprised myself. Before that, I had long since stopped considering that we'd make it back. Of course, that led to a new conversation all through the morning. Before we knew it, we were having a romantic embrace at the south of the world. That is, until you walked in, Captain. Yes, it was rather inopportune of you. Kasha pauses for a moment. You don't take issue with this, do you, Captain? You both know that fraternization is forbidden, I presume, or so when will we be holding the wedding? Excuse me? Huh. Good one, Captain. Presuming all goes well, of course, not for another year or two. Or 5. Now, Doctor, you know me. I like to live fast. 5 years is fast. I think I could whittle you down. I'm joking, of course. It's far too soon to speak on that. Well, forbidden or not, we're at the end of our journey here, I hope. Matters of the crew are in the past. To sail home with Kasha, well, it's something to look forward to. Been quite a while since we had that. Agreed. Don't bother the rest of the crew with this. We're not back on land yet. We shouldn't grow too confident. I wish you both happiness. It's what you deserve. Do that one. Thank you, Captain. Now, if you'll excuse us. Oh, Cardell wants to talk now. Oh, she wasn't here before because it's with Kasha. I wish to speak with you on a matter. What matter? Concerning your report. Put simply, I have a story for you to include regarding who I am. You're a kennel master. That is true, but not the whole truth. Well, this is sudden. I've been curious about your past. Have you been keeping secrets from the crew? I see this doesn't concern me. I'll be off. I've been curious about your past. I'll be honest. I have no doubt you were. Cordell turns to Kasha as the reporter quickly scrambles to gather her notepad and pen. Now, I'm certain you've heard them call me Lady Cordell. Yes, frequently. I asked around, and apparently it was a moniker granted to you due to how you spoke. Well, those who dubbed me with that name have no idea the irony in doing so. The truth is, I am a noble. Or rather, I was. What? You were what? I suspected you might have had an upper-class background. I don't believe you. I'll just say you were what? Are your ears failing you? I care not to repeat myself. I was born and raised within the nobility. I don't mean to call you a liar, but that's just a big claim. Ingrid Cordelia Weston. What? You keep your ear to the ground often. I'm sure you've heard of her. Yes, actually. She's a distant relative of the monarchy. Had a seat as an MP for a brief period. Went missing unexpectedly. Well, I am Ingrid Cordelia Weston. Are we to believe that? Not just nobility. We're speaking to royalty. Or let her continue. We'll just let her continue. I have all the proof I need to show you. No need. I believe you. You do? It would certainly be an odd thing to lie about. I assume you're aware of the political system, Kasha? To no end. Researching it was possibly the most dull and harrowing part of my last report. And yourself, Captain? I pay no heed to politics. Vaguely, I'm quite confident in my knowledge. I'll say vaguely. Well then, allow me to refresh your memory. Well, as a distant cousin of said monarch, I was placed in one of those parliamentary seats. As you can imagine, I had no interest in being an MP. My aversion towards human interaction was no different in my youth. From the age I received my first dog as a gift in my childhood, I have much preferred their company. In the chat, my brain, MP, a mime minister. Surely there was once a time when you weren't such a recluse. Well, you have encountered and interviewed many of the nobility in your time, correct? Correct. Would you choose to spend your time amongst those people? Fair point. So, this whole time we've been traveling with a runaway MP? Yes, I suppose it does sound quite unusual. Oh no. Unusual? It's fantastical. Will Hammond reveal himself an actual mole next? I've learned not to be surprised at this stage. I find it shocking you were never found. I've learned not to be surprised at this stage. But, why did you leave? My reasons for that are quite simple. I refuse to live that life any longer. In that world, in my position, certain things were expected of me. Act with decorum, attend every social event, keep your real self hidden until you're considered suitable to be shipped off into a political marriage. A grim reality, one I wanted no part of. My choice was clear, and I didn't hesitate in my thought for a moment. I left home in the dead of night, taking only 2 things with me. My certificate of birth, for reasons more practical than sentimental, and my dog, for reasons more sentimental than practical. I started a breeding kennel in the capital, earned the moniker of Lady Cordell among the common folk, and from then, I was free. Free to feel the ground beneath my feet. As Cordell speaks, Kasha intently takes notes. I see. So, trapped in a restrictive role in society, you broke free of your chains, yearning to be independent. I suppose, yes. Just like a wild pack of dogs, able to roam free. Please do not include a surface-level poetic interpretation of my actions. Poetics are my calling, but okay. No, that's good. Keep it. I still don't believe it. It's a tall tale. So have you ever considered returning to the nobility? I won't tell her to keep it when she just asks, don't use that. Not even slightly. That life is simply not for me. Thank you for sharing, Cordell, but why have you shared this with me? Why now? My report, it will expose your identity to everyone. Would you allow that? Because I trust you to tell my story. And I no longer have anything to hide. Thank you. I promise I won't let you down. I'll tell the whole truth of your tale. I know you will. Assuming you leave out that tripe about wild dogs. And yourself, Captain? Speaking of dogs, that was Stanberry. I think I will call you Ingrid from now on. Kasha, don't include that in your report. How's Stanberry? Faring well. Oh, uh-oh. Her sprite accidentally got changed. Still pregnant. What? Stanberry is pregnant? Yes. Quite fortunate for me after what happened to my kennel. It was a stroke of good luck. I'm sure Cordell will bestow us each with a puppy to commemorate our journey. What do you intend to do with the litter? Sure. I mean, she said she was gonna, you know. Yeah, I intend on replacing the kennel I lost piece by piece. Stanberry will birth a new generation of sled dogs. So you'll be continuing your line of work? Yes. I'd much sooner begin again as a kennel master than return to the nobility. Agreed. So that's your entire story? More or less, yes. I'm sure Captain Shaw has no objections to this tale. What say you, Captain? I'll say I never would have expected. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate your listening. I can't believe you would trust us with... Thank you, friend. Do not mistake this for closeness. I simply trust your credentials enough to consider you a professional. But you're welcome, friend. You turn to leave Kasha and Cordell. Okay. I mean, we already said we were going in the cave. We're not leaving that behind. Ooh. You notice that the compasses are pointing directly towards the cave. Forgo the rescue ship to search for the Viscount. Hell yeah. We're doing it.